corny comedy. So take it away, Kyle.
She doesn't.
Kyle's corny comedy corner.
Ah, okay. You got it. Take two. Oh, yeah. Big. All right. I asked my therapist, what do I need to do with all these people that I really seem to hate? He said, well, you write each of them a letter and then you burn them. Well, I did that. Now I got all these letters.
You made that one up yourself.
No. Yes. Corny comedy corner. All right. In Star Wars, did you ever notice who did Princess Leia's hair? Darth Vader. I drove by the barber shop the other day. This guy was getting pulled out and arrested. He forgot to pay. To pay. What does a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? Well, they're both parasites. We'll play on words. I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey. Then I turned myself around. I mean, that's what it's all about. What's a kidnapper's favorite shoes? White Vans. I went on a once in a lifetime vacation. Never again. What does a robot do after having sex? Nuts and bolts.
Those are good, Kyle. Those are good. Thank you, Kyle. All right. Now we're ready to get started. So welcome everybody out there. Let me just kind of take a look. I know we've got some new people down. I think they're from California. June. So welcome, June. We look forward to saying hi in just a little bit, but welcome. And we might have a couple other new people on there. There's a couple names I'm not sure about. I don't see faces. So, but welcome everybody. We hope to say hi tonight. So we will open up and give you an opportunity for us to meet you in just a little bit. But now you can just take it away, Art.
I think one of the hardest questions that I even ask in here, the people in the program, I ask them all the time, what do you want? And I think even myself, it took me years and years and years to figure out what it is that I wanted. And it's that silly thing where people say you get what you want, then you want something else. And that's kind of is how the way it works. But there is truly some, I always say that we just throw things up on the wall and see what sticks, but there is really some things that I'm trying to get across to people. And I have figured out, I can tell you, I figured out what I wanted, and it happened in an evolution about, for me. I wanted, basically, if I boil it down in my life, I wanted three things. And the first thing I wanted was, I wanted power. But when I say power, what it meant to me was, I remember when I was a kid, so power to me meant my ability to make an influence on the current group that I'm with, my ability to influence what we do, my ability to make it look like the way I want it to look, make my life look like how I want it to look. I remember as a kid, or anytime I started jobs, I remember one time I started a job and they had a office that was upstairs, and all the important people were in the office upstairs, and I worked down on the floor at this McDonald's bun plant. You could look up in the office and see all the important people up there. And I remember I would look up in that office and go, man, I want to matter like that. I want to be able to go up and be in there with the important people. And so one of the things that I've always looked at in my life was I wanted to matter, and I wanted to be important. And I call that power. So power meaning my ability to influence the group, my ability to make a difference with the people that I'm around. And I think, and so that's one of the things that I try to get across to people and teach. The second thing that I remember when I was in 5th grade, there was a movie came out. Will you grab it? There's a movie come out, and it was called The Day After. I don't know if any of you remember this, but this is around 1984, and they had this movie, what it would look like in the world. Back in 1984, we were up against the Russians. You know, it was the Cold War, or the end of the Cold War, or whatever it was, around 1984. I don't know the exact number, but it was a very weird time, and I was in 5th or 6th grade, and there's all this stuff about Russia and the U.S. and nuclear war. And it was movies about it. War Games was a movie that came out, and there was all these movies that came out about nuclear war. And then eventually they did this like real life drama series that they played for everyone on national TV, what it would look like in America the day after a nuclear war. And I remember as a kid, this had this enormous impact for me. And so I went up to school the next day, and I remember all the kids were playing basketball, but I couldn't figure out how they were all playing basketball and enjoying the day because nuclear war was about to happen. And so I found myself sitting in the gymnasium on the steps of the stage, thinking about nuclear war and worrying about it. And from that point on, I used to see planes fly over, and I'm like, there it is, they're here to get us. And you know, it was the first time that my freedom was stolen, and I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what my freedom to play. So up until that point in my life, I could always just play. I was always in the current moment. I lived that way. It was just how it was. I was in the classroom. I was never out of the classroom. I was paying attention to the teacher. And if I was playing basketball, I was totally focused on playing basketball. And if I was talking to my friends, I was talking to my friends. And if it was recess, it was recess. That was the first point that I can remember going back to and seeing that I couldn't play. And the reason I couldn't play was my thoughts had taken me. And I was stuck at that point. I was stuck in my thoughts. And I remember not knowing how to get out as that kid, 11 years old. And it was weird to not be able to go enjoy basketball because of these things that could happen and might happen. And so I remember the actual loss of freedom that was. The third thing that I think, so freedom was one and power was one. And this is how I've evolved over time about figuring out what it is I want. And the way that you figure out what you want usually is you figure out what you don't want. But so you don't want to lose your freedom because you'll know. And you don't want to lose your power and be able to not make a difference because you don't know. And all these things happened in my life. And the last thing I wanted was love. And by love, what I mean is I wanted to be accepted by my tribe. I wanted my tribe to accept me, but not just accept me. I wanted one step further. I wanted to be like gravity to my tribe. Whatever tribe I'm currently in, whether that's my workplace or my girlfriend or whatever it is, what I wanted was love. I wanted to be like a gravitational pull. I want people to want to be around me. So I wanted three things. I wanted freedom, and that means my ability to be present in the current moment and play. I wanted to be powerful, meaning I want to make a difference with my tribe, and I want to matter. I want people to like my ideas. I want people to think about my ideas. I want to be able to influence what movie we go to. I want to influence what's on TV. I want to say, this is what I want to do, guys. I want to be able to change someone's life. I want to be able to say, hey, man, listen, maybe if I give you this advice, or I can make a difference and be a hero in your life if you listen to this. And I thought that was a good idea. So power was important. And then, just this simple mattering, and love, mattering, power, freedom. All this was the stuff that I didn't know. Now, it took me years of my life to figure out. And as I'm telling you this, it's not that I had this figured out in my life. I didn't. At no point did I have these things figured out. What I thought I wanted was a car. What I thought I wanted was a new haircut because that would get me love. I thought I wanted a house because that would give me love. I thought that I wanted to like yell at people and that would be how I matter. I thought, all these ways that I thought I wanted to get new shoes, and that meant people were going to look at me and then therefore they're going to love me. Oh, I want to tell you my idea. I want to do a group and a talk. And if you listen to my talk well enough, then you must love me. And all this convoluted ways that I was really trying to get at these three things that I wanted. You see, what I really wanted was freedom. What I really wanted was power. And what I really wanted was love. That's what I really wanted. But I was doing everything. So if you look at what the things that you do in your life, why are you doing that? Which one are you going after at the time right now? Are you going after freedom in your life? Are you going after power? Are you trying to matter? What are you up to? So when you're speaking, you're going to be trying to do one of those three things. You're going to be trying to get love. You're You're going to be trying to matter. You're going to be trying, well, maybe not get freedom. But see, it all starts with one place. You see, the key to unlocking these power and this love comes when you start prioritizing what's really important. And what's really important in your life is freedom. What the first priority is freedom. And what I mean by freedom is my ability to not be stuck in my thoughts and to be able to play in the current moment. That's what I mean by freedom. My ability to not stare at my phone, my ability to be able to be with people. You see, you can't get the other two without the first one. You can't get loved without your ability to be free. You can't get power without your ability to be free. You can't get the other two until you start unlocking the first one. And now, what is the way to freedom? And understanding that the way to freedom is this idea that, one, I know when I'm not free. I know when I am stuck in my head. I know when my thoughts are thinking me. You see, these people run around and they say, I think, I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking about. No, you're not. This is the current thinking that's happening to you. Thinking is happening to you. You're stuck inside there, which is taking your freedom away. So the first thing that work, and that's what drugs did. You see, if you really look at why you use drugs because you wanted all three. You use drugs because you wanted to be free. You wanted to be outside of your thoughts. You wanted to be free to play in the current moment. You wanted the bullshit thoughts to go away. You wanted to matter. You wanted to talk to people. You wanted to matter to your tribe, and you wanted love. And the drugs gave you all three of those things for a little while. They gave you those things. They made you matter. They made you feel powerful. They made you feel free. They made you feel loved. And see, now, all of a sudden, you don't have that. You don't have drugs to make that happen. So what are you left with? And now here you sit. And now this work has to begin. What do I want? You think you want an apartment. No, you want to tell people you want an apartment. You want to tell people you got an apartment. You think you want a house. No, you want to be able to tell people you got a house. You think you want things, boats, houses, car, whatever you want. No, you just want that status, because there is a point where you think that status is going to give you the other three things. You think that ride on the jet ski is going to make you free. It's not. You think that house is going to make you matter. It doesn't. You think that house is going to give you power. It doesn't. Power, freedom, and love do not. You think people are going to love you because you got a house? People will love you when you're free. People will love you when you can be present with them. People will love you when you can show them your heart. And you can't do that until you figure out what's making you not free. So the key to unlocking this work, and it prioritizes it. See, when you put freedom, and let's define freedom, mindfully, present moment awareness, being able to be in a room with no thoughts dragging you out, being able to focus on the task at hand wholeheartedly every day of your life, being able to be where you're at, performance raised because I focus, being at work and being on the phones because I'm a salesperson, but being completely zoned in on my job, being on the construction site and seeing that hammer hit that nail, and not having all these complaints in your head about how much you get paid and how little you get paid and how come you don't matter and how come you're not powerful and how come you're not loved, because you're sitting on the job site not performing because, one, you haven't put freedom as your priority. And you've come into this program and you hear yada, 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 mindfulness, all that bullshit, meditation, all that yada, complaints and all that shit. I'm looking at you. I can tell people who are free and who are not. I can see freedom. Do you want it? But people don't know what they want. So I ask you, what do you want? You'll say, I want an apartment, I want a car. What's that going to get you? You're going to be stuck in your thoughts in your apartment. You're going to be stuck in your thoughts in your car. You're going to be bitching and moaning about your complaints and why people don't do what they do. And how come the world hasn't changed? And how come this? And how come my coworkers don't do this? And why they do that? And that's not freedom. Most of the people that have been in this room where you've experienced freedom, where's the most point that people have experienced freedom in this room? I would argue that most of you have experienced the most freedom of your lives in jail. Every single person in this room. You finally get to jail and you finally get a little freedom, because in jail, you're not worried about what some guy said to you. You're not worried about what your girlfriend's out doing. You're not worried about your bills or your apartment or any of the stuff that you have to worry about. And so in jail, you get ultimate freedom. You get to go to the table and play cards and make soups and hang out together and do all this stuff. And then you get out in the real world and you don't know how to stay free. They let you out those doors, and now you've lost your ability to stay free. See, I stay free. And I didn't know it. And I didn't know that freedom unlocked the other things. I didn't know that my ability to be loved rests upon my ability to be present. And that love is only present when I am present. That love is present outside of my goddamn phone. That it's not in there. That it's outside of my complaints. That it's outside of my resentments, that it's outside of all that stuff. So in order for me to get love, I have to be free, and freedom allows the door to be unlocked. And for order to be powerful and make a difference with people, well, I can do one of two things. I can be present and free and joyous and happy and be like gravity to people, so that then I can have an influence on people, or I can be forceful and try to be powerful. I can yell, I can dominate, I can try to get louder, I can tell you to do what you're supposed to do, I can be mean. And that's the way that I can try to have power, but that ain't power, that's force. So this ability, this thing, I'm imploring you to say, listen, and how do I do it? How do I get free? How do I take what I'm stuck in? Well, one, Jeff, what's going on?
I just think of the Carl Parker.
Oh. See, I'm not free. That's how it works. That took my awareness. Now we're stopped. So prioritizing freedom, I implore you to do it. I don't know if you're scared. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you enjoy it in there. I don't know. But you ask yourself today, what was I thinking about all day? And it starts with right there. If I'm not free, where am I? Where have I gone? Where am I at in my head? What do? I fight. I get out. Can I be completely present in this moment? Am I like that kid playing on the basketball court? Go look. You go look on a kid's playing on the basketball court. You go look at kids playing in the field. They are not worrying about tomorrow. They are not regretting what happened yesterday. They are free. And you now ask yourself, when did you lose your freedom? At what age did you lose your freedom? At what age did you sit on the steps like I sat there? What time, when do you first remember that? And then remember the freedom that the drugs gave you when you took them. Remember, that's what it was. There was no thoughts. There was, let's do something. Let's enjoy this. Let's get into this moment. Whatever it was. And you don't know what you want. I get it. I couldn't have told you what I wanted. I know what I want now in life. I want these three things. And all the other shit is just some bullshit way to get it. I want freedom, meaning I want to play every day, all day like I'm a kid. I don't want to worry about tomorrow. I don't want to worry about people. I don't want to resent. I don't want to complain. I don't want to harbor anger. Forgiveness leads me to freedom. These kind of work things that get me to freedom. I want to be free. And I want to be powerful. I want people to gravitate and want to do things for me and want to do what I want to do and want to be with me. And I can be very open and honest that I want that. I want power like that. And then I can be very, very honest that I want love. I want people to look at me with love. I want people to enjoy what I say. I want people to want to be around me like that. So power, freedom, and love, those were the things that I'm trying to implore people to go after. Before you go after the car, before you go after that, before you go after this next amount of money. To see, that's why you're trying to get the money. Don't lie to yourself. You're trying to get the money because you think it's going to give you one of three things. You think when you get the money, you're going to have power, freedom, or love. That's why you want it. You can't wait. When I get that money, I'm going to have power, freedom, or love. Which one are you after? There's a way to have power and love. It comes with freedom. And there's a way to be free. Look at why you're not free. Start admitting to yourself. It takes balls to be free. It takes confrontation. It takes sharing thoughts that you would never share with people. It takes phone calls. It takes feeling the chains of sitting in a room and being annoyed by people and not telling them. Sitting in a room and being frustrated and just sitting there, or saving up shit on people and having people do things wrong that you don't like. Feeling oppressed and not doing anything about it. Not self-advocating. Not sharing what you have to share. That's why you can't be free. So now you go into the next situation, you carry another one, and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And then you make it, if you make a decision, you prioritize. Here's other things that are making you not free. Late bills, laundry not done, bedding not clean, teeth hurting, not taken care of, hygiene. The mismanagement of our life is also the bonds and the chains that we are held by. Because we mismanage our life and we come to this management point. So now if you start seeing, I got that court date, I didn't call, I got that appointment I didn't set up, I got that letter that came in the mail that I didn't deal with. So when you prioritize freedom and you put it on the top of your list and you make freedom mandatory, it makes you a better life manager. You 100% have to be a better life manager if freedom is your priority. Because if freedom is my priority, I can't put that letter down and not manage it because it makes me not free. I have to manage everything as it comes. I have to keep my life like a linebacker with my head on the swivel. And something comes in to deal with, I have to deal with it right now. And whether that's a letter, a court date, a ticket, whatever is coming in, I have to deal with it or it takes my freedom away. If my freedom is taken away, I sit in a room like this and have no power. If my power is taken away, I can't matter. If I'm sitting in a room like this, nobody can love me because I'm too closed down dealing with my own bullshit. And then people run around and they say this bullshit, this absolute nonsense. I'm going through it. I've got too much on my plate. Shut up. Nobody cares. You're not free. You don't want to be free. You want too much on your plate. And you want to look cool. Because why? Because you want power and love. And you think that's the way to get it. And then you get a problem. And you tell everybody about your problem. Rather than dealing with the problem, you tell everybody about your problem. Because somewhere along the line, you got convinced that if you have more problems, you're more important than someone. But you're now just a problematic person that nobody can love and nobody wants to be around and is annoying. And so now you're taking because you're not because you're not achieving freedom as your number one priority, because you're not seeking freedom as your number one priority, you don't know what you want. And because you don't know what you want, you're trying to get those things without knowing that you're trying to get those things. And because you're trying to get those things without knowing that you're trying to get those things, you're doing it in all of a convoluted way. And you do it in a way that nobody cares about. You get a car because you think you're going to be important. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody. Name somebody you think's important because they have a car. But yet here we go. No, I'm going to get a car and I'm going to matter. I'm going to have power when I have that car. No, you're not. Freedom. That's going to give you everything. Freedom to be present, free to be joyous, free to be where you're at. And now I have to work because everything in my life is trying to steal my freedom all day. That letter that the Comcast sent me that my bill's too high, that's going to take my freedom away unless I deal with it right now. This toothache is going to take my freedom away unless I deal with it right now. This laundry in the middle of my room is going to take my freedom away unless I deal with it right now. I won't be able to go to the movie and enjoy the movie with you all because I should have been doing my laundry. I should have been making my bed. I should have been cleaning up. So freedom has to be the number one priority because as soon as you see all these little things that are taking your freedom away, all these thoughts that are taking your freedom away, I don't want to really be here right now because this is what I'm thinking about. And then we're not even thinking about freedom. So then what happens is we get in a room, we go hang out with people, but because freedom's our number one, not our number one priority, we get involved in the mess of our phone and we just sit with people. And because we're not free and we got so much to deal with, now we look at avoidance. And we just start avoiding dealing with all the stuff and now just getting high on our phone instead of managing our life. And so when you set this priority, you say, fuck it. My number one priority is free. And I know what it means to be free. It means I have no worries. It means I have nothing to do right now. It means I've accomplished all my tasks that I need to accomplish, business before pleasure. All my business is done. Now it's time for vacation. And life can be a vacation every day, but you got to be free. So now I have an apology to make somebody, but I'm not free because I got this apology to make and I haven't done it yet. Well, go ahead. You won't be free until you do. I'm not free because I need to forgive someone. Well, go ahead. You won't be free until you forgive them. So go ahead. Just live that way until I have this situation that I have to deal with. And I'm not going to be free until I deal with it. Deal with it. Confront it. Throw some balls. And on and on and on. All the work that I've done to be free, today I have to maintain it all day, every day still. I still have massive work to do every day. I need to speak to you today. I need to speak to you. I need to speak to you. I need to apologize to this person. I have to go on and on. But that makes me freedom, and the priority to want freedom, and freedom being, just so you remember the definition, I get to mindfully, presently play in my life like a kid. Free like an 8-year-old playing soccer. Free like a kid on the playground. That's how I want to live my life. So if I prioritize freedom, it forces me to see what's making me not free. If it forces me to do that, it then now forces me to manage every aspect of my life. It now makes me a life manager. If I'm out on vacation and I know my car's at home with a flat tire, I'm not on vacation. It's an undealt with thing that I ruined my vacation because I just didn't manage something in my life. If I'm on vacation and I know I didn't deal with a bill, one bill, I got a lot of bills, but one bill I don't deal with, that can take my freedom away on that vacation. I have to manage every aspect of my life to stay free. And freedom is the number one priority. And freedom unlocks the key to allowing people to love me. And freedom unlocks the key to power and influence. But I have to set that goal for myself. I have to set that one. It's not the amount of money I get. That's not the goal. And by the way, money comes a lot easier when you're free. Just does. Comes a lot easier when you're not mismanaging your life. So if you start and you set my mind being free, being the number one priority, all the work is then prioritized for you. Because you can just look at the top 15 things that are making you not free tonight. And that is your to-do list. And it's a very simple thing. And I see people that, one, aren't free, and two, are sitting on their phone, not dealing with things. And I go, doesn't matter what that person does, not going to be happy. Doesn't matter what they do. They do not even know the pathway to happiness, no chance, no way to make it. And they think that all these things that they're not dealing with are going to be taken away someday. Someday these things will change. No, they won't. And how are you even prioritizing what needs to happen next? Who do you need to talk to next? See, the priority is what thoughts are in your head, which is taking your freedom away. And you look, and there's your priority. There's your to-do list right here. And if you get here and you go, whoa, nothing. I got nothing taking away my thoughts.
And what baggage are you actually carrying around with you?
Yeah. And if you get to the point and you go, oh God, I got nothing. Well, guess what? The only thing that come after you got nothing, creativity and joy. That's all that's left when you got nothing, no chains holding you back. Hey, let's do something fun. Let's create something fun. Let's get some joy. Let's play. That's life. And all of this comes through saying, well, I do want power and I do want love, but if I don't put freedom first, I'm not available for these other things. I'm not available to be loved. I'm not available for power. I see so many people getting in relationships that are not available for love. You're not even there for love. Do you know what it takes to be available for love? But I want love. No, maybe not. What do you want? Well, I do want this girl. What do you want? Sex? Well, I do want sex, kind of. You want love? Well, no. What do you want then? What are you doing with the girl? Yeah, what you want is somehow that girl's going to give you power, or somehow that girl's going to give you influence, or some of that you think that girl's going to make you matter. So what you want from that girl is you want that power. Good luck with that. And then we wonder, what's going to happen to that relationship? Two people trying to get together because each person seems to change their power status. Well, if I'm with that person, more people are going to think I'm cool. And I can just see my guy's eye. Oh, if I had her, oh man, that first day I walked through the mall, oh my God, power. Oh, wait till I walk her into the auction. Oh man, they're going to really, everyone's like, dude, I thought that guy was a chump, but shit. You know, freedom is the way to power. Because you know why freedom is the way to power? Because if you put freedom as your priority, it makes you confrontational. And it makes you have to be powerful. Because if you're taking my freedom away and I got you on my mind, I got to deal with you. But see, if I don't want to be free and you're on my mind, I just be a pussy and I just kind of tuck my head down and I go that, and then I go complain to somebody else about you. But see, if I put freedom as my thing, I don't want you renting space in my head. So I don't want you renting space in my head because I'm going to go over here and try to watch this movie. So now I got to have power because I got to come back to you and I got to deal with you. And now that increases my power because I dealt with you and I didn't run from you. And I looked you in the eye and I made myself deal with the thoughts that I have about you, and you and I had to work it out, which increased my power. And most people aren't increasing their power because they don't care about freedom. They'll just think about this person, resent the person, go get on their phone, text somebody about the person, complain about the person, whine about the person, not be free, and be powerless. You see? So freedom is the igniter. I don't want to think about you when I'm not with you. That's terrible. And if I do, I want to think good thoughts. So I'm not having good thoughts about you. So I must now deal with you. And then now my power has been increased. And so I'm getting what I want. And I'm getting what I want through this priority list. And people don't know what they want. What do you want? I don't know what I want. I didn't know what I wanted. I figured out what I wanted by figuring out what I didn't want. I didn't want to think about things when it wasn't happening. So I wanted freedom. I wanted to play like a kid in life. So I wanted freedom. I wanted power. I want to be able to say, hey, come over to my house and watch a movie. I always like when I wanted my idea, when I have a good idea, you know, some people say, let's have this for dinner. And everybody goes, no, shut up. No, when I say what we want for dinner, I'd like everyone to agree that that's a good dinner. That's power. I want to be able to, like, I always describe power like this. I want to be the guy with the remote, and I want everybody to watch what I want to watch, but I want them to be happy to watch what I want to watch. See, the difference is some people have their remote and they make everybody want to watch what they want to watch, and that's force. And so I want to have everybody happy with what we're watching, and I want everybody having a good time, power. And I want to be loved. I want people to truly see my heart, not my stuff, not what I have, not what they need from me, but really see me and then love me for the person I am. And so it took me 48 years to figure out what I wanted. And I know now that I want power, I want freedom, and I want love. And I know that. And I know how to maintain it. I know how to increase it. And I know how to work on it. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand about this. We admitted we were powerless in our lives unmanageable. Okay, here, let me show you how to get power. Start with freedom. Start with clearing up all the bullshit that's in your head. Start with apologizing to the people you need to apologize. Forgive the people you need to forgive. Talk to the people you resent. Stop blaming. There's no way to freedom through blame. Absolute chains on you with blame. Responsibility, only way to freedom. Ownership. So you start with freedom, you become a person capable of power, capable of love, and you become a person who can manage your life. Really manage your life, because you start noticing, oh shit, my bank just went $5 negative. I got to get there right now. That's not just going to sit there and pile up. Oh shit, this bill says late. Damn it. Calling now. Oh shit, it's 7 p.m. Can you pay it online? I need to pay it so I can sleep tonight. Then you start moving forward to the point where it's like November, October, and you're paying November's bills because you don't even want to worry about them anymore. Freedom. And then you start dealing with one thing every day. Me, all day, every day stuff. It's just like a constant, I'm like fighting against things trying to take my freedom all day. You said that to me? Why'd you say it? Now we got to go outside and talk. Shit. Why is he doing that? Now I got to talk to this guy. Oh, what's in the mail? The mail's trying to steal your freedom every time you get it. Look, every time it's dicey when you go to that mailbox and open it. You never know what the hell's going to come out of there. And don't wait on Friday. Your mailman shows up at 7 p.m. Now you got to wait all weekend. The doctor's trying to steal your freedom. Hey, you might have it. Call you next week. Everything is trying to take our freedom. And by freedom, remember what I mean. My ability to be present and play like a kid. I remember I couldn't play video games without drugs. I go to try to play the video game and all I think about is all my problems. And I go, God damn it, why am I trying to play video games? I got all these problems. I take a hit of heroin and a hit of crack. Boy, I could just go play those video games all day. I could see the men's faces as they were in there. I knew. I didn't even like music when I was sober. In active addiction. When I ran out of drugs, I didn't want to play music because I can't hear it. It's just noise, ruining my, whatever it is. I'm so deep in my problems that I don't want the music. Fuck it. I need to be here right now. You couldn't even take me out. Then I'd take a hit of something, turn that music up, play that video game. Freedom came back. But pretty soon the drugs stopped working. They wouldn't even get me to freedom. Get one hit, my mom's texting. Where are you at? You're late. You're supposed to be here 5 minutes ago. Damn it. I wanted some freedom. I wanted mental freedom just for a little while. So we know what we're after. I already know what you're after. You're telling me there's people in this room that don't want freedom. They don't want to be able to play like a kid. They don't care about that. That's crazy. Are you telling me you don't want love? You don't want people to love you? You don't want a woman to look at you so beautifully and respect you and honor you? You don't want that? You don't want a man or woman to look at you like that? Yeah, you do. And you don't want to fit in with your tribe and have power with your tribe? Yes, you do. You want to matter. You don't want to say shit and have people go, oh, you're full of shit. You want to have influence. You want to make a difference. When you say things, you want people to hear them. You want it to matter. Well, once you complain and then try to matter, it don't work. Once you whine and don't deal with things and be powerless, it don't work. And again, freedom's a priority. Give you power. Because power says this person's taking away this person's taking away my freedom. I'm going to keep my freedom, which is going to make me have power. But if this person can take away my freedom and I'm able just to go let that person take away my freedom and just go soak over here or whine over here or complain about here or feel oppressed and say it's not my fault. Now nobody's going to love you either because you're a whiny bitch. That's how that works. So freedom requires power. Freedom requires you to be lovable. It will force it. And it requires a good life manager to stay free. You see these guys happy owning yachts and everything. Yeah, but what are they managing? They're having to manage a lot. They're good. People managing big lives and they're happy still and present with people. That's it. You got to look up to that. How much shit is that guy managing a day? I'm having trouble keeping track of this tooth right here. You know, I'm having trouble finding my socks in the dryer. Can't fold those things when I'm done. I have trouble with my drawer. I can't manage my drawer. You know, luckily people will do it. You know, still doesn't take my freedom away. Now, if it did take my freedom away, I'd be folding that shit up. So massively important for you to figure out what The earlier you can figure out what you want in life, the earlier you can go get it. It took me 48 years to get to a point where what I wanted was freedom. It took me 48 years to figure that out. And I had things even in my sobriety for years that were taking my freedom, and I didn't deal with them. And I lived a life that wasn't truly mine. That ain't true no more. Free, but it's not easy. Freedom takes power. It requires power. It requires work every single day. Conversations after conversation, confrontation after confrontation, and confrontation is not being confrontational. Just confronting things through humility and niceness, hopefully, and maybe a little dash of some other shit sometimes. So hopefully you're handling as nice as you can. Hopefully you're as sweet as you can when you handle confrontation. Confrontation just means dealing with it. It doesn't mean fist fighting. It doesn't mean accusations. It doesn't mean I'm going to come forcefully fucking confront you. It means I might ask you a question. Hey, like, why did you do that to me? That's a confrontation. Hey, why did you say that about me? Why will you guys talk about me? What have I done? Freedom, power, love. There it is. And the world's running around buying shit trying to achieve it. What does a girl want? She's at the hair salon 5 hours. You want love. You want people to look at you with love. That's what you want. Go get your nails done. What are you doing here? Which one do you want? Freedom, power, love. Go tanning. What do you want? Oh man, this tan skin, they're going to love me. You know, everything we're doing is for one of the three. Everything. We go to the car lot. Ooh, this is going to do it. When I drive off, well, I'm getting power and love for sure. I don't know freedom anymore because I'm thinking about this payment. Pretty big. So the payment's stealing my freedom, but the power's going to. Tell me you want something different than that. You know? Peace, maybe? Okay. Well, peace is going to come through freedom too. You won't be at peace unless you're free. So anything you tell me you want, it starts with freedom. Yeah, you won't be able to get it through freedom. Peace, joy, compassion, forgiveness, name it. Starts with keeping your head clear. Helping people. I want to help people. Good. You better be damn free to do it. Try to go help somebody when you owe Comcast $400 and they turn off your cable. You ain't gonna be able to do it. Try to help somebody all day when your bank account's negative. You shouldn't be. You should be fired. Your bank account's negative, bounce checks, you're going to go help people? Stop. Stop. I got to be free to give you some attention. My life takes total attention. I have to tend to it before I can tend to any parts of your life. All right. That's all I got to rant about. I'm
All
telling
right.
you.
Oh.
I do tell you, I know. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we'll open it up. We've got some new people we'd love to meet, and we just open it up for comments, questions, sharing any thoughts is welcome. We've got about 20 minutes left, so plenty of time. We'd love to hear from y'all. And if you're new and you're willing to say hello, we'd love to see you. You can just unmute yourself, get my attention. You can use the raise your hand feature on your device. I'm raising my hand here so you can kind of see. Hi, Emma. Hey, let's come over to you.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. I just want to say hi.
So good to see you.
Hi, Emma.
How is it being back in California?
It's good. It was kind of weird at first, but it's good.
Yeah.
Gage, get up to the screen and wait.
What did he say? Oh, I didn't hear that. It was so good to see you, Emma. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Your parents are on too, I think. I think I saw them out there.
Yeah, I saw him on
we're
there.
Yes.
We're
Yes, here we
here,
go.
we're
Hey,
here.
guys.
Midge is here for you.
Oh, good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
All right, Troy's got his thumbs up. Did you want to say hi, Troy? Or were you just saying, oh, he's just saying, he's just giving a thumbs up. All right. Hey, Troy. Congrats on the couple years clean. Good to see you. All right.
Yeah, I know. Took care of him 2 years ago.
Troy's always on. It's great. All right. So who out there has a question, comment, anything? We're
Anybody need
open.
help?
Yeah. Anybody going through it right now? This is your moment. Please. If anybody needs a coaching moment, you're welcome to raise your hand. Hi. Hey, June. Can you hear me, June?
Hi. Yes,
Hi there.
I can. Can you hear me? Okay. We're not from California now, although we used to live there. We now live in Raymond, which is almost like living in California, is when it comes to getting places in Washington. Our daughter Lynn is still on her way to the rebuild, wherever it is that people stay, which I guess is in Kent. She
Yes.
was somewhere around Olympia when her location.
Yes, I'm trying to put you on spotlight,
And-
June. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. My husband Glenn is here with me. We're both here, and occasionally we have a cat. As we eject them from this room.
So it's Glenn and June. There you go. There now I found you.
Here we are, both here. And so we expect that next week our daughter will be on the meeting too, but she'll be there in the treatment program.
Great. So Lynn is on her way.
Yes,
What do you do up in Raymond?
you just checked her car. Pardon?
What do you do up in Raymond?
Drive a lot to get into someplace else.
Where is
We're
Raymond?
retired. It's on Highway 101, about halfway between Aberdeen and Astoria.
Oh, neat.
We live just outside. It is a good place, but it's we live a little bit outside of the town.
So you got to drive into Astoria to have any fun.
I see they were going to the sweater store.
Yes,
Oh, I see.
or Olympia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the sweater store?
It's in Raymond.
Raymond has a sweater store, I hear.
I didn't know that.
Well, they have a carriage museum.
Yeah, it's like a giant factory that says sweater store.
Oh, okay.
What do they do?
Well, nice meeting you, June.
Thank you. Nice.
Yes,
meeting you.
nice meeting you, June and Glenn. Thanks for being
here
on. We're here every Tuesday night, so we look forward to continuing to have you. And we'll
Okay,
meet your
thank
girl
you.
soon. Thanks, guys. All right, I've got Mike, but it's not Mike, but the name Mike. Hi. Hey, what's
Hi,
your name?
Kelly. I'm Casey's mom.
Oh, Kelly. Oh, yes. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Mike was here too, but I think he went to the bathroom. This is Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi, nice to meet you. I have to say that I really agree on the freedom and prioritizing things in life to keep yourself focused and organized, and that really hit home. I think that it's a very difficult thing to do and a daily task.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think everybody there's doing a great job.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Awesome. I'm glad you're on, Kelly, and we're definitely looking forward to having you and Mike tomorrow night.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be our first time meeting in person, so I look forward to it.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. And anybody else out there that wants to join us for group coaching tomorrow, it's in person. And so anybody that's local that can join us, please do. You can just register on our website. If you click on services and group coaching, you can get registered. And instead of Zoom, it's in person. So we look forward to having you guys. All right. Anybody else out there?
Oh,
Everybody's quiet tonight. That's okay.
I'll wait.
Nothing from Sherry? Come on, Sherry. Sherry, you know what, Sherry? We got to hear from you because I'm sitting here all night wondering how you look so gorgeous after Saturday. I'm sitting here going, whoa, whoa. You look here. Can you share a little bit about your experience on Saturday?
Well,
You had a lot of fun out there.
the med tent was awesome. I'm just saying.
Oh, well. Before that point.
before they carted me off. Yeah. So, it was a ton of fun. The group was amazing, and it was just, the energy was fabulous. It was so much fun. It was hard. But it was one of those things where it's like, you kind of like, it's like a little family, right? So like, when I kind of like had a little moment where I couldn't go on and they carted me off in the med tent. Everybody was like, oh my God, are you okay? And it really was that family feel of like everybody, there was so much love there, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, you're okay. You're okay. And even people walking by that we didn't even know, not even the people in our group, there were people that were checking on me going, it's like, hey, are you okay? And so that we got you thing, it wasn't just within our group. It was that entire community there. So it was really cool. So, being 50 plus, I should have probably started with the 10K, just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Go to the big swingers party.
You gotta make Courtney and Janet say something.
Yeah.
What are they
So-
saying? What are they saying over there at the crew?
Oh, nothing. We thought we were muted.
No, you're not muted.
you're not muted.
They're
Okay.
talking about how beautiful you are over there, Sherry.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Talking about Sherry, we were talking about the Tough Mudder community.
Yeah.
It was very dirty. It was a very dirty community. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cam helped his.
that's what we were saying.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. So when you're freedom requires, ownership of your stuff and taking care of your stuff and doing all your things and things like that. There are times when you get too much stuff, right? Too much junk going on in your life. Is it just one of those things where you kind of just have to hunker down, sit down, and kind of like take care of one thing at a time and like get them off your list? Or do you kind of get to a place where you're like, I can defer this one thing until the weekend, right?
I would argue that people that pile things on to their life.
Mm-hmm. Every
Um,
mom out there, I'm guessing,
Yes, and I would also argue that you like that. And I would argue that you that's your way of being loved.
Mm-hmm.
What you're after is love, and what you're doing to get it is taking care of everything that everybody. And I think that might not be the way to love. It might be the way for people to take it for granted quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of mothers do this, and a lot of people do this. They take on everything on their plate because really they want love, but they think that's the way this type of a personality that stays organized and handles everybody else's business. That's their mechanism for love. And I would say that same person should start with freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And say that my priority would be freedom, and that would generate the ability to be lovable. But it's hard You know, normally you have the same thing. You have the mother that's overworked, and then somebody in their life saying, but I want time with you. And then they're saying, but I can't get time because I'm too busy, and on and on and on. And, you know, I think that's kind of why I did this group, is because I think everybody's after freedom, power, and love. And I think people aren't starting with freedom. I think they're starting with the things that I'll do to make me loved. And I'm doing the things that I think will do to get me power, whether that's status, money, home, influence, promotion, whatever that is. And I'm trying to do all that stuff, but I'm forgetting freedom. I don't even acknowledge that I'm not free. I don't acknowledge that I'm totally overworked, overthought, that my thinking is just trapped, that I just don't even feel resentment anymore because I got too much to do. I don't allow myself to feel resentment because I'm too busy. And I'm just filled with gunk, just over, you know, that's mud. And so I think that's the reason, is that I think that everything else gets in line when you start with the freedom aspect and say, my number one priority is to be present in the moment and play like a kid again. And I think that you really look and you can find, you know, this isn't something, mindfulness came into play like this new wave. You know, it started in like the mid 90s. It started coming over. Everyone's teaching meditation and teaching mindfulness. And I know it came to the US, and look at that. That's because that's the medicine to our sickness. Like, my dad didn't need to learn mindfulness. He didn't. My dad was where he was at every time. If he was driving in a car, he saw the street signs. He saw the road. He didn't need the radio. He drove in a car. He knew exactly how to get where he's got, not because of a phone or a map or GPS. He had drove there before. You don't need an 80-year-old man in a Ford pickup truck, you know, working on his farm, is not needing to practice mindfulness. We're sick. We've done this to ourselves. Like we are. When I said that I sat on that stage and worried about nuclear war, that's not good. I was a kid that just got sick for the first time. I stopped being able to play. And we're doing all this stuff is the medicine to the sickness, just like the drugs are the medicine to the sickness. The drugs are the releasing into freedom. That's what it is. I'm not free. I'm not free. My awareness is trapped inside of all these thoughts. I want out. Let me out. Let me out. That's the freedom.
So is it safe to say that moms then need to relinquish control and just kind of like free and let it go? Right. Because
Well,
I mean, that's something
think-
I know I had to do.
Yeah.
You were telling me
Yeah,
like
but-
step back, right?
Yeah, but let's just not start with moms. Let's start with
Okay.
you as a person.
Yeah.
Forget mom. Forget mom. I mean, because no, this isn't about that. This is about you saying, what are the things that I am thinking about right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm doing this work. Do I do my work as a complete distraction, or do I love my work so much I'm playing it? Do I take more on to distract me from what I'm not confronting?
Mm-hmm.
And it's piling on, or am I free to do this stuff? I don't think if you're free, I don't think you can put too much on your plate, because you're free and then you're present with this thing, and then you're present with this thing, and then you're present with this thing, and you're focused on this thing. You're not going to put too much on a 7-year-old's plate, because he'll just play all day. He'll play. That's it. But if you're trying to play, but thinking about what your girlfriend said to you yesterday, now you have too much on your plate to play. And so that's, I don't think you can put too much on your plate if freedom is your priority. You can do whatever you want to do, as long as you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So is your work playing, or is your work this thing that you take on, knowing that you're taking it on, saying yes and yes and yes and yes and yes, and then you're dreading doing it, dreading getting it done, overworked, and taking all that on because you think that that's going to get people to love you. But what we see, that if you go back to moms, what we see that moms get And I don't think I really had a respect. I took advantage of my mother. I took her for granted. And I never was in awe of her until after she passed. I never was in awe of the amount of work that she took on in a day. I just took her for granted. And so it took me until after she passed away to go, Jesus, how did she live that way? How did she handle that much stuff in one day?
Mhm.
And I think that's what a lot of moms are trying to get their love from their family that way. And just let me see if I can take on everybody else's stuff and you know, line everything up for them. And that just leads to like resentment. And you know, mom takes on all the work of everyone in the family and then resents that she takes on all the work of everyone in the family.
Yes.
You know? And at first it starts out where because all you want is a little gratitude. All you want is, at the end of the day, you just want them to look up at you and love you and say, thank you so much for being my mom and thank you for doing that. But as we've learned, the gratitude never comes, and it starts that thing where you give them an inch, they take a mile. You know, you give them a yard, they got to mow it for them. You know, that kind of thing. So it doesn't work.
Christy.
Oh, I was just thinking of the word simplify, like adding the word simplify to the idea of freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make it, just play. Yeah, just play.
I mean, well, you got to maybe get rid of some of the things you don't need anymore or something. I don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a good idea. That's the thought.
I mean, cleaning out the house.
Right.
Freedom. Cleaning
Yep.
out the house. Throwing away shit that you just keep dragging your energy down with.
Yeah.
Having a storage unit that you just visit you pay every month and then visit every 9 months.
Yeah.
And it's piled up with shit that you don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Christy. Good to see you on here.
Oh,
Good to see your face.
I know. So sorry, my sister called. She calls me at the, so then I have to not be on video.
Oh. All right. It's time to wrap it up, Art.
Yeah. You know, I would describe it here as, you know, this sickness of, and I had it and we have it and I have it daily still. And it's just this really considering my inability to be where I'm at, a sickness. And when I start with that, then I know what the medicine is and I know how to get healthy. And I think I look around, I see ants in the pants and, you know, we see the legs shake and the phones, the constant phones. And I don't think that I think that gets normalized around here. And I think that most people don't classify that as sickness. But I think it needs to be because it's actually the foundation of everything we do. And freedom, prioritizing freedom, you know, it just does everything you need it to do. When you say that that's my number one goal, I want to play my life like a kid again. You know, this is life. It's just such a play toy. It's weird that it's not a play toy for people. Life is this play toy. You could win, you could lose, you could throw it around, you can jump into it, you can play with it. It's just this thing that you get to play. You get to play life. But you got to be playing. You got to be playing every day. And I think people aren't playing life. They're not playing life. They're just, and I don't know, but it really, to me, it looks like people are forced to live. Just kind of like getting through it. Kind of like, oh, this isn't my life. I'm actually just sitting here because somebody else wants me here. And I'm living someone else's life. And oh, poor me. And it's just like, play then. What are you playing? How are you playing life right now? How do you play? Did you have any fun today? Are you playing? And that's the thing, is the hardest part. You would think it would be easy to encourage everyone in this room to play, but it's not that easy. There's other things that people want to do. And, you know, really, really, actually watching other people play life is the priority kind of I want to watch other people and how they're playing life. And then I want to comment on it. Look at what this guy does and how he plays his life. He does it better than me. Look at this guy and how he does his life. He does it better than me. Look at this man's couch. Look at this man's boat. Look at this man's car. Look at this man's girlfriend.
Is it motivation?
Yeah, I don't know if it motivates anyone.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I'm saying that seems to be the priority over really playing. So anyways. On a closing note, just prioritize freedom. If you do, everything else will fall in place. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you, Art. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Good night. Good night.